Go. Hello, everybody. Kermit the Frog here.
It is 11:25 a.m. on 2019-10:06, and I am at war. It's 1125 hours, and I'm in the trenches, going around shooting people. And this is a pretty good story. I'm going to write a book about it.
Nice. What's that from? Or you just make it up?
Well, yeah, I'm writing a book about it. I made it. I'm writing the book right now.
Oh, sweet, nice.
Yeah, I'm doing it. This is my life right now, and I'm also recording this. So if you hear any gunfire or yelling in the background, don't worry. It's just me killing people.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'd kill people too. Okay.
Oh, is this Kinzo?
I don't fucking know.
I think this is Kinzo.
Alright.
Because it just looks like the way Kinzo talks.
Yeah. What is that sound that always fills my ears? Is it the sound of the rain? The sound of a waterfall? Or could it be radio static? If not, I want it to be the sound of blood flowing through my body. I want it to be the sound of the blood circulating throughout me, telling me that I'm still alive. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, I got it right for the first time.
Nah. Is it morning?
The light entering through a crack in the curtain was faint, but it at least told him that dawn had broken. Kinzo, still in the position he'd been when he woke up, still sitting in a chair and looking up at the ceiling, felt the blood slowly travel throughout his body. Judging by the clock, it was early morning, 6 o'clock on the dot. No matter how tired he was, no matter how deeply he slept, he always woke up at exactly this time, as though he had measured it with an hourglass. He didn't think of this as something to boast about, but he told himself that, as long as he could still manage this, his health couldn't be that bad.
Morning has come, which means... It would appear I've avoided becoming one of the first sacrifices. Was I merely lucky when the roulette was spun? Or is this the fruit of my efforts? How irritating that I cannot tell the difference, but I mustn't be bothered by such trivialities.
Kinzo was struck by a faint desire to see beyond the study door. After all, he might find the traces of someone's vain struggle to break through the door, a sign that someone had tried to select him as one of the first 6 sacrifices.
Humans are cheap creatures, even though everything is ultimately decided by God. When humans are given good fortune, they arrogantly feel it was due to their own ability.
That was why he wanted to check whether there was a wretched mark on the door. The very desire was human, and that was why Kinzo did not check. He often rejected desires that came to him because he was human. He's got pretty good self-control. That's pretty good. By doing that, he could be immersed in a feeling of sufficiency, as though he himself had become a being that surpassed humans. He recognized human desires for what they were, and guarded against them. Things that a human would want to do, he resisted. This eccentricity and rebellious nature had surely given him a rare genius, making it possible for him to succeed in his exploits as he revived the Ushiromiya family in a single generation.
Well then, Beatrice, what were the 6 people you took? And when will your next move be? Entertain me. My defense is perfect. I will not shame myself like last time. So he fucking... I don't know if he's not talking about last time because he has no memory about it.
How do you know he doesn't have memories of that?
Oh, for fuck's sakes, don't even...
He's a magical warlock. How do you know?
Because you're trying to convince me. That's how I know. I'm playing the meta game here.
The servants woke early. They had to open the curtains, prepare breakfast, and complete various other tasks to welcome the guests to a new day. Goto was the most enthusiastic. He's still alive. He died first last time.
Yeah.
During the family conference, he had been told to concentrate his efforts especially on cooking, and he'd been specially exempted from several tasks that servants normally must do. Goda, who was a show-off, seemed to be feeling particularly superior because of that. He let Genji and the rest prepare the rest of the mansion and worked on making breakfast in the kitchen. Genji split the work with Shannon and Cannon, and they carried out various tasks. Shannon died first last time too. Shannon headed to the dining hall and knocked. Last year, the family conference had continued into the early hours of the morning. It wouldn't have been odd if this year's conference had done the same. Considering the possibility that they were still having a discussion inside, she knocked, but there was no response, so she opened the door and said good morning. Good morning. Is anyone there? The room was cold, and the conference seemed to have ended a long time before. There was a tea set on the table from which they'd probably been drinking, arranged in a way that would make it easy to clean up. Cleaning up the tea was a servant's job. If the family members were extra generous and cleaned it up themselves, the servants would lose face. So it was a truly pleasant act of kindness for the family to do only this much. As she approached the table to clean it, she noticed something like a memo that had been left near the utensils and cups. Since it was right next to the tea set, Shannon picked it up, naturally thinking it was a memo for the servant doing the cleaning. Written there was not a request, nor was it thanks for preparing the tea. There was just a single word. Shannon looked at it blankly and read it out loud. Chapel.
So I was right. Maybe they all died in the chapel. All of those people.
A small sound kept repeating over and over. Normally that sound would have been too trivial to be worth caring about. Oh, I don't know who this is, but I'll just keep reading. I'll keep reading. If only I could stop hearing it soon, I could go back to sleep right away, she thought vaguely. I think it's Rosa. But no matter how much time passed, the sound did not end. It repeated over and over. I think it's Rosa. Or okay. Natsui. It might be Natsui.
Ah, right, because headaches.
Yeah, shut up. Who is it banging on the door this whole time? As soon as she realized that, she woke up. Someone was knocking. Then she noticed that it wasn't just a knock, but a voice as well. Oh, it is Rosa.
Oh, it is Rosa.
Yeah, okay, wait. Well, who's saying this?
It's Genji.
Okay. Rosa. Good morning.
Oh, wait. I'm coming now.
It had been Genji's voice. Looking at the clock, it wasn't even 7 yet. It was clearly too early to wake the guests. Did something happen that was bad enough to cause this? She felt her sleepiness increasingly fade thanks to this premonition of misfortune. Though Genji was a servant, Rosa had known him since her childhood days, and even though she was slightly defenseless in her pajamas, she opened the door a crack and answered.
Pajamas, hell yeah, dude.
Good morning. I apologize for waking you this early.
Did something happen?
Yes. Actually, at the chapel. Genji whispered something into Rosa's ear. For a second, it seemed Rosa couldn't understand what she'd been told. After having it repeated several times, she realized that, apparently, something strange had happened. Rosa closed her door for a second, changed her clothes quickly, and followed Genji towards the mansion.
Last time that was Natsui.
Yeah. The chapel requires some explanation. It wasn't in the mansion, but in a grove behind it, a short walk's distance away. It had been built at the same time as the mansion, so though its walls had been repaired many times, making it look new from the outside, it was a very old building. Rosa dashed through the rain along with Genji. Just like the previous night, the rain was falling in earnest. Eventually, the chapel came into sight from beyond a thin grove. Just looking at it from the outside, it seemed a place of dazzling beauty where a pair of young lovers might want to get married. However, Kinzo apparently viewed it as a very sacred place, so Rose and her siblings had been given strict instructions not to approach it unnecessarily. Even though they were all grown up now, approaching the chapel for any reason would still make them feel guilty, and also afraid, as if their father might get angry and hit them in the face. The servants' silhouettes could be seen in front of the chapel's entrance. Goda, Shannon, and Cannon, which meant that all of the servants on the morning shift had gathered. A short while ago, Genji had spoken to Rosa, telling her what the situation was. However, without laying eyes on it directly, she definitely hadn't been able to understand. It was probably the same for all the servants gathered here as well. Without seeing it with their own eyes, they wouldn't have been able to understand what was going on. On the door at the entrance to the chapel was something very large, drawn with a creepy, stringy paint that made one think of blood. Something like a creepy magic circle.
What is this? When was it drawn here?
The servants looked at each other. Godo was the first to open his mouth. My apologies. We don't usually enter this building, so we don't know when it was made.
Then who was the first person to find it?
It was me. When I went to the dining hall to clean up the tea set, I found a memo with chapel written on it. Shannon held out the memo with a shaking hand.
Whose handwriting is it? Is it Nissan's or Nayson's? So, after that, you came here and found this, right?
Yes. Rosa, look at this.
What? Happy Halloween for what?
Cannon pointed at a single line of English written below that creepy magic circle. Until it had been pointed out to her, she thought it was just another part of the magic circle. There, the following words were written in English. Happy Halloween for Maria. Happy Halloween for Maria. This creepy magic circle was for Maria. Happy Halloween.
What the f...
Yesterday, only one person had said Happy Halloween to Maria. The key phrase matched. It was the Golden Witch, Beatrice.
What about Maria? She should be sleeping with her cousins, right? Did you check?
Sleeping with the cousins.
Yeah. Fucking Alabama.
My apologies. We just now realized that Maria's name was written here. We still have not checked. Quickly.
What are you doing? I'll go check Maria and come back. Tell Kraus and the rest too. After that, follow the instructions.
After saying that much, Rosa finally noticed that something was odd. Her own rank in this family conference was the lowest of the 4 siblings. Why had she been the only one called during an abnormal situation like this when the other siblings hadn't been? Even if Maria's name had popped up.
Could it be, huh? What?
Yes. We tried to contact Kraus, but we couldn't find him. And Madame was not in her room. Judging by the condition of the sheets, she might not have returned to her bed at all last night. Rosa felt something creepy crawling slowly up her back.
Did you check inside the chapel? Cannon.
No, not yet. We tried, but...
This is Genji.
Actually, the lock to the chapel is special, so the master key will not work. There is a single key that can open it, but that key is missing from the key box. She didn't want to get closer to the door with the creepy magic circle if she could. Rosa readied herself and approached, then tried pushing and pulling the knob. All she felt was the resistance of the sturdy lock. We searched to see if there was a window we could enter through, but I think we'd have to break one of the windows if we wanted to check inside. What do you think?
There's no way I can give you approval to do something like that. This is Father's precious chapel.
At that time, the events of the previous day swirled around in the back of Rosa's mind. That's right. It's Rosa talking.
Oh, right. When I met that witch in the Rose Garden, didn't she hand Maria an envelope? Yeah, there's no mistake. She did hand it over. When Maria tried to open it, the witch told her not to do it yet, and then she surely said, "The time to open that will come soon."
Rosa was sure. There could be no mistake. The envelope Maria had received was... This must be Rosa running back to the guest house.
Yeah.
They must be drenched. They don't have umbrellas. They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beatrice doesn't give her an umbrella.
Yeah. After dashing back to the
fucking
guest
bitch.
house, Rosa approached the cousin room while hiding her footsteps, softly opened the door, and peered inside. From the inside, she could hear the healthy snores typical of young people. There were 4 children, and Maria was there, sleeping soundly. After breathing a sigh of relief, she entered the room with quiet footsteps. She was after Maria's handbag, which was resting on the sofa. Maria always liked carrying her treasures around with her. She was probably emulating how her mother always carried her makeup with her. Of course, she was just imitating her mother, so everything on the inside was junk. In Maria's case, it was full of small, creepy occult items, notebooks describing things of that nature, and so on. Rosa had never been happy to see her daughter walking around with things like that, which weren't girlish at all. However, trying to force Maria to stop had resulted in a big fight, so she decided to let it be.
Here. This is it.
A Western envelope with the crest of the gold eagle. When she took it out of the bag, she realized there was a heavy, vaguely cylindrical object inside. She could tell by its feel and its weight. There was no doubt. This was a key. After turning around and checking that Maria was still sound asleep, Rosa tore open the envelope and the contents spilled out into her palm. It was a key with an old and intricate design. Rosa gripped that key and dashed out. Battler seemed to have noticed that sound, but after grumbling and turning over in his sleep, he started snoring again.
Big anime titties. Genji, could this key be the key to the chapel?
Where did you... Yes, this is the key to the chapel. Rosa approached the creepy magic circle once again, and put the key in the keyhole. There was a strong resistance. After it resisted for a short while, it stopped resisting with a clunk. Then, squeaking with a noise that hurt one's ears, it slowly began to open.
Dun dun dun. Is anyone there?
Her voice reverberated throughout the massive room. Of course, there was no answer. The chapel had a high ceiling, and the air was cold. And even on this rainy, unsettling day, it felt sacred for some reason. The servants timidly followed after Rosa. Rosa, look at that. Cannon noticed it immediately and pointed. Over there was the altar. In the place that would normally have a pastor preaching of God's love, there was a table that shouldn't have been there. At first, it looked like a dining table. There actually were gorgeous plates and utensils placed there, making it look like a child's birthday party or something. Upon closer inspection, the surrounding area had been decorated with pumpkins and black and orange ribbons. They were probably Halloween decorations. And there were people seated at the table. 3 people on each side facing each other, seated in chairs. They could be recognized at a glance. Kraus and his wife, Ava and her husband, and Rudolph and his wife. But if you wanted to be sure, you'd still have to go even closer and check. Because they seemed almost like dolls. Rosa and the rest had opened the door, entered all at once with the sound of many footsteps, and called out, asking if anyone was there. And yet, there had been no reaction. Even if Rosa and the rest assumed they were being ignored, you'd still expect there to be some kind of reaction, and there hadn't even been that. So at first, it felt like someone had set down some dolls that greatly resembled those people. By now, it wasn't just Rosa. Shannon and Cannon and even Goda. They were all fighting frantically with the creepy emotion that grasped their hearts.
Nissan. Nissan.
As she walked towards the altar, she called out again, but there was still no reaction. Yes, by now Rosa was sure of it. She was sure these weren't dolls, but the people themselves.
Shannon.
Shannon? This is...
Cannon.
They grew close enough to see clearly what lay on the table. It still looked like an adorable banquet, reminiscent of a child's birthday party. plates piled up with sweets, cute pitchers with drinks, all kinds of pumpkin-shaped ornaments. They were all decorated in a Halloween style, and while this probably wasn't the time to be thinking it, Maria would surely have been delighted to see all this. That was the state of the table they sat in front of, apparently asleep. It was an eerie scene, as though a small, fun-looking Halloween party had been stopped in time.
They're all sleeping?
When she approached even closer to them, she realized that there were snacks scattered all over the floor. Candies, cookies, soda, and chocolates, all with heavily fantasy-themed packaging. They were all scattered across a carpet covered with blackberry and cranberry jam.
Nope. That's blood. Goda.
Whoa, whoa! Rosa and the rest finally realized what the situation was. It was a Halloween party, a banquet for those not of this world. Kraus, Natsui, Ava, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kyrie were seated in chairs, apparently asleep, but all dead. I think we got new tips. Let's read them. Let's read them. Start with Kraus.
What the fuck is going on here?
Huh?
Doesn't tell me anything. What the fuck?
What?
I can't go to tips. And there are no characters.
There's no characters.
There's no characters.
Oh, well,
What if I exit and then do this again?
yeah, try closing it and then going back in. Or not the game, but the pause menu.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh. Okay, well then I'll read them.
Okay.
Mushirimiya Kraus. His corpse was found in the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems his stomach was cut open and his intestines pulled out after his death. On top of that, sweets and candies were packed into his stomach. Welcome, Maria. Happy Halloween. And then it's the same for the rest except for the last sentence. It says, for Natsui, it says, didn't I tell you stomachs are packed full of candy? And for Ava, everyone has a stomach filled with sweet dreams. And then Hideyoshi, why would there be anything filthy inside someone's stomach? And then Rudolph, this is why we want to be as sweet and innocent as candy. And for Kyrie, and so I give you the land of dreams. Happy Halloween. Weird. Okay.
Weird. So they have their stomachs cut open and stuffed with candy?
Yeah, stuffed with candy.
Holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
How could you tell that they were dead and not simply sleeping? That was because they'd been vertically sliced open from their chests to their stomachs.
Shannon.
Yeah, I see her there. It just hadn't popped up yet, the words.
Oh.
But now they're here, don't worry.
Oh.
Kraus! Eee!
I don't see Shannon.
How cruel. The 6 of them had sat down at a Halloween party before having their stomachs split open, killing them. Then the jam covering the floor. Must be what overflowed from their stomachs once they'd stuffed themselves completely, right? No. The contents of their stomachs had been scattered all over the floor, and that wasn't all. Out of their stomachs, it was almost as though they'd poured out, as though snacks had overflowed from there. Candies and cookies, soda and chocolates had poured out, stained with blood, and had scattered across the floor. What could have happened to cause this? It's almost as though their stomachs were stuffed full to bursting with sweets, and it all poured out when their stomachs split open. Rosa remembered a certain shocking meal, a turkey that had been served at her own birthday. When it had been cut open with a knife, out flowed one of her favorite foods. But since she hadn't been told what was inside, the deep red ketchup omelet rice poured out like bloody maggots, pulsing, dripping, slimy, pulpy, squelching. Squelch.
Ooh.
The trauma of her youth was revived. Rosa felt a monster raging inside her stomach as the acid started to rise. Unable to hold back, she threw it all up on the floor. Her empty stomach had nothing but stomach acid. The scene in front of her was no fun Halloween party now. The three couples were enshrined right there, their stomachs vertically wrenched open with the So many snacks had been stuffed in there, pulpy, squishy. Blood and guts and sweets were overflowing onto the floor. Blood-stained, sticky, sloppy, pulpy, sweet snacks that made your fingers stick together. Gummy. But stained with entrails, sloppy, pulpy. What was the... I stepped...
What was that?
That,
I just
that's
stepped on
Rosa.
now.
Yeah.
That didn't feel like a candy or a cookie or soda or chocolate. It was a penis. I'm scared. What did I step on? I can't even look at the bottom of my foot. Ow. What a gruesome Halloween party.
From far away, it had looked truly beautiful, fantastical, and fun, but from up close it was horrible, disgusting, and yet somehow still beautiful. Rosa's wild thoughts tried as best they could to escape her throat with a loud voice that was neither a scream nor a roar. Grouse. This is horrible, just horrible. Call an ambulance. Call the police.
That's right, the police. Please.
If a word so tied to reality hadn't come out of Goda's mouth, Rosa and the rest would probably have found themselves unable to escape that nightmarish party even now. But it wasn't because they thought the police might be able to do something. If they didn't keep yelling about the police, it felt as though another seat might be set up at this demon's party and given to them. Their own chests felt like they were expanding unpleasantly from the inside, rumbling, churning, and it was surely because candy was about to overflow from their stomachs. Rosa, once again tortured by a desire to vomit, threw her stomach acid up on the floor, and then she searched to see if there was any candy in
it. Anyway.
Rosa coughed violently again, forcefully spitting out the stomach acid that had been burning in her throat. She realized that by now her whole body had been covered in a filthy sweat.
Hey, Kenji, Shannon, please contact Father and ask for instructions. Goda will go with Cannon and call the police. Then have Dr. Nanjo come here.
Why even bring Dr. Nanjo here? It's a bit too late for medical care.
You idiot. He's gonna diagnose the bodies.
The servants accepted their orders and dashed outside. After watching them leave, Rosa once again stared at her siblings, with whom she'd spent good times and bad, and their partners. Though there could be nothing more tragic than the scene, for some reason, she was tempted to describe these fantastical deaths as beautiful.
Goddamn. It seems fucking weird. Like, why? Like, God damn it. I don't... They aren't here. Where'd they go? The serving room and the kitchen are both empty. What in the world happened? I'm fucking starving.
Mama, where's Mama? My letter. The letter I got from Beato. Give it back. Give it back.
Perplexing. Butler, are you sure it was Aunt Rosa? Well, even I was half asleep, so I'm not too sure. But I get the feeling that in the early morning, Aunt Rosa came in and fished around Maria's handbag. I figured there was probably a tube of toothpaste or something in there. Why would there be a tube of toothpaste in Maria's handbag? I don't know, 'cause she's fucking weird. Looks like you were in a little more than half asleep.
Battler vaguely remembered Rosa entering the cousin room. Also, when Maria woke up before the rest of them, she'd started rampaging around, saying that someone had opened the envelope she'd been keeping safe. Putting two and two together, they figured that Rosa had probably come and opened the envelope.
A letter from the Golden Witch. I wonder what was inside. Huh. I don't know. But that envelope was for grandfather's personal use, and it had the Ishirumi family crest on it. Whatever was inside it must have had some connection to the family conference.
She hadn't let anyone touch it, but yesterday Maria had shown that envelope off to Battler and the rest a whole lot, so they remembered it well.
Oh, Mama, give it back. Mama, give it back. Oh.
Well, if you're right, it'd have to be pretty important. Why would this mighty witch give something that important to Maria? I don't get it.
Every once in a while, the refreshing morning atmosphere was completely wiped out by the sound of thunder. It was only natural. Since the moment they'd woken up, they hadn't met anyone else. It felt like only they were left, as if the mansion had become an empty husk.
Hey, anyone there? Answer me.
Jessica called out into the hallway, and eventually an answer came back. It came from the entrance hall.
It was Beatrice. Oh, it's Nanjo.
It's Nanjo?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Has something happened?
It's Dr. Nanjo. Thank goodness. It looks like everyone but us hasn't disappeared from this island after all. Dr. Nanjo, good morning. I'm sorry, but do you know where our parents went?
Dear me, I only just woke up and came here, you see. I have no way of knowing for sure, but let's see. It was only natural. That's the second time it said that. Nanjo was a guest just like the rest of them. He'd come just now to pass the time in the parlor until breakfast. It was only natural.
It was only natural.
Yes.
Dr. Nanjo, Mama took it. Mama took my letter. Give it back, give it back.
Maria buried her face in Nanjo's plump stomach, sobbing and crying. It was only natural. Nanjo could do nothing but be bewildered by this ruckus so early in the morning.
Someone's running this way. Jessica, someone's coming.
From down the hall, they could sense people running hurriedly. They saw Goda and Cannon coming towards them. Normally, it would be disgraceful for a servant to run inside the mansion, and yet Battler and the rest didn't even think to question that now. Maria's sobbing had become so unmanageable they wanted to ask someone, anyone, where Rosa was. But the two servants seemed to have bigger things on their minds than Jessica, who was waving at them. Goda flew into the servant room, and when Cannon noticed that Nanjo was there, he bowed and approached the doctor at a quick pace before whispering something into his ear. What did you say? Rosa did? Yes, I will guide you, so please accompany me. Understood. This way. Without saying anything more than that, Cannon finally noticed Jessica and bowed to her, but he wasn't calm. He dashed back down the corridor by which he had come, followed by Nanjo. By looking at how hurried they were, Battler and the rest realized that yes, something bad really had happened. They saw Goda through the door to the servant room, which had been flung open. He was holding the receiver and violently pressing the hook. From that, they realized he was trying to call a hospital or the police. In any event, he was trying to call someone because a serious emergency had occurred.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Mama, give back my letter. It's an invitation to the Golden Land. You bitch.
They didn't know what, but something was happening. Battler and the rest chased after Cannon and Nanjo. I think this is Battler.
Yeah. Then we realized Cannon called Dr. Nanjo, but he hadn't called us, so we shouldn't have gone with them. I wonder if Alice regretted her excess curiosity when she chased after that rabbit holding a clock. Huh.
Well, they're all
You
going
mustn't
to
go
the
in.
chapel.
Yeah.
Maria gets to see her Halloween party.
Yay! Jessica, no.
This is who?
This is Jessica.
Jessica.
No, my fucking parents. I thought you lied, George. Mother, father, what happened? What the hell is this? This goes way beyond bad taste. Isn't taking someone's life bad enough? What the hell is this? Going to all the trouble after they died of sitting them on a chair, slicing their stomachs and pulling their entrails out? You went to all the trouble of stuffing their stomachs full of sweets? Why? Why the hell would you do something so fucked up? Damn it, damn it. Nice job, you bastard. Just great, just great.
It would be best if everyone went outside. They certainly wouldn't want you all to see them like this. The angel told the children to go outside, but no one listened. Rosa, please tell them. If they keep looking at something like this, it will do nothing but harm. Rosa regretted her own carelessness. She should have realized that the children would eventually come here. She should have quickly locked up instead of standing around, stunned. So the children had come here. They had seen it. Surely, at this very moment, they were having a sight burned into their eyes. That was far more grotesque than the shocking meal Rosa had witnessed in her youth. While she hugged Maria, who seemed to be too shocked to show any emotion at this gruesome scene, Rosa cried for them and their parents. The four groaning and crying voices, their sadness, continued to echo in a place that should have known God's love.
Oh, guess not. You piece of crap! Again, another one of these murders, and this time made it all elaborate, killing them like it's a total joke. You bitch.
I was rather hoping you'd thank me, not cry out in grief.
Thank you? Did you say I should thank you, you old bitch? Damn it, if there's something wrong with your ears, I'll cut them both off so you can hear better. Why should I have to see that insane way of killing and say, oh, thank you very much, Beatrice. I'll beat your brains out.
In the last game, you lamented the fact that you couldn't see your parents' faces after they died, yes? So this time, I left them. Didn't touch them. Take a good look, for without a doubt, your father and the rest have been killed.
Really, what a nice treat. I'm so fucking happy. I swore I'd pop your face after I choked the life out of you, but I'll take that back now. I'll rip out your guts instead.
Don't give in to emotion. Don't stop thinking. My game has already begun, right? Ha 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 ha. I decided to leave you neat and tidy corpses this time. Do you know why? When you denied my existence in the last game, you used this line of thinking. Their faces were crushed, so the identity of the corpses can't be confirmed. Therefore, we can't eliminate the possibility that fake corpses were prepared to create an alibi. Unless that possibility is denied, a human culprit theory can still be built.
What'd you say?
So, Battler, is it okay to leave the examination of the corpses to Nanjo? Isn't it traditional in mystery novels for the doctor who performs such examinations to be an accomplice? Then don't leave the examination to him. Do it yourself. Make completely sure that without a doubt the 6 corpses are the 6 people they're supposed to be. That they really, really are dead, not just pretending. If you wish to confirm that your father and mother have been killed by having their stomachs cut open and their entrails pulled out, you'd better stick your hand inside their stomachs and feel around.
I mean, she's not wrong. I won't cry. Damn it, I won't cry. You bitch.
Battler suddenly yelled. His tears were still dripping down, but as though scolding himself for being a sissy, he slapped his face hard several times with both hands. Even so, the tears still wouldn't stop. However, he felt a hot blaze in both his eyes.
Whoever's responsible for this piece of work, I'll make them pay back their debt completely. So this isn't the time to cry. Gotta think about what to do. It's useless. It's all useless. If you've got enough time to cry, then think. This is no time to let yourself cry.
Rather than genuine anger, maybe it was more of an evasive anger to blot out his sadness. However, it gave a little courage to George and Jessica, who'd been crushed by the sadness.
That's right. Even if we cry, it won't change the reality of what has happened. Damn it. Damn it, then what should we do? What should I do for Mom and Dad's sakes?
Rosa, I have returned.
Goda, what happened with the police? Did they say what did they say to do? Did they say when they think they'll be able to get here?
As to that, it seems the phones have broken down. I also tried the emergency wireless, but, maybe it's the weather, but that isn't working either.
What did you say? So we can't contact the police? It's that person. They did something to the phone line, made it so that we can't reach the cops.
When she heard that the phones had broken down, Jessica immediately decided that it was the work of that mysterious guest. Her eyes were bright red after so much crying, and they began to grow even redder with rage.
Gah, there's no need to talk about it, right? I understand everything that's right. I get it. Who killed Dad and Mom? It's obviously her. It's gotta be that witch or whatever who came yesterday. I'll grab her by the collar. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Jessica, wait. Go to Cannon, go.
Yes, ma'am. Milady, wait! Covering her uncontrollable sadness with anger, Jessica ran outside, torn apart by emotion. Thinking about it hastily, maybe the mystery guest who'd arrived yesterday, Beatrice, was suspicious. However, in that instant, there was absolutely no proof that she was the culprit. At this moment, she's just another guest, no more, no less. So, Rosa, making an adult decision, was forced to stop Jessica in her rash rampage. Goda and Cannon picked up on this immediately and chased after her.
Could the guess that no one invited Beatrice be the culprit? I understand how Jessica feels. I wish I could think that too. It doesn't matter who, I just want someone to be the culprit so I can bash them right in the face. But before that, we need a clear understanding of what's going on. Who is this Beatrice? I haven't even seen her face.
If you're looking over her face, it decorates the big portrait in the mansion. You still don't remember after looking at it for so long.
Come on, Maria. This is no time for jokes. What's so funny in a situation like this?
Beatrice is a witch, and the ceremony to open the door to the golden plant has finally begun.
Those 6 people are sacrifices. Come, let us be the witches. Begin the witches' banquet. Tonight is Halloween, so now the witch will gather to celebrate. Maria, don't I always tell you to not laugh with that creepy voice?
The crisp sound of Rosa slapping Maria's cheek echoed through the high-ceilinged chapel.
Bam.
Ever since it started raining yesterday, no, ever since the island was swallowed by the typhoon, I felt as though something was wrong.
Who is this? Maybe it's me. It was bright and sunny when I arrived in Rockajima, but since I'd gotten up early and was sleepy, I took a nap. Oh yeah, it was me. When I woke up, it had already started raining. And ever since that time, suddenly a mysterious visitor calling herself the Golden Witch Beatrice arrived, and it felt like I was sinking bit by bit into a bizarre world. What the heck happened while I was napping? Am I supposed to believe this island was sealed off inside a different world where common sense doesn't apply? Who is this person called Beatrice? Is someone unknown trying to involve themselves with an inheritance problem? Or just like our parents were freaking out about dinner last night? Just like. Or is the culprit the witch from the Legend of the Gold? Just like Maria said. Even if we set Jessica's temper aside, given the circumstances, it's probably safer to say that this visitor person is the most suspicious. But we mustn't make our minds up based on that alone. It's useless. It's useless. It's all useless. Fuck. I smacked my face with both hands again, cooling off my brains before they overloaded, even though it might have been a wasted effort. This is one of Grandfather's envelopes. On a trip Okay. Is this me still?
Hmm?
Is this me still? Probably.
This is
On
me.
a tray piled up with sweets that decorated the table, George found a Western envelope that had the Ushirimiya family crest done on a golden leaf, and it was unopened. Which
Oh.
means what? Okay. Which means it's probably meant for us, right? If it was something Dad and the others read, it should be open. It seems your reasoning is correct. It is written right here. Someone wrote to those who remain. Is that a letter the culprit left? What's inside? Anki, let's open it.
After nodding silently, George broke the seal. A folded letter came out.
I'll read it. Welcome to Rokkanjima, members of the Ushirimi family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for his family, employed by Kinzo himself.
That letter really was a joke. This Beatrice, who called herself the family alchemist, had announced that... Yeah, this is Battler still.
Okay. Had announced that she was collecting the gold she lent grandfather along with interest. And the interest was everything grandfather had created. Since this tragedy was right before our eyes, as this paragraph was being read aloud, it clearly wasn't referring just to the wealth grandfather built up. It was literal. Everything that grandfather had created. In other words, all of us, all of grandfather's descendants were included in the interest. You bastard! What a screwed up contact. Lives as inheritance as interest for gold, you say? That's almost like a contract with the devil, isn't it? You think that makes you look more like a witch? Ha, don't make me laugh. I'm gonna fuck you. Special clause. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. Ginzo has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold with the epitaph under my portrait. In other words, it's something like this. If the murderers represent her collecting interests, then she's telling us to try and find the gold she gave grandfather if we want her to stop. And she's also saying that the secret pointing to the gold is hidden in the portrait epitaph. So basically, this is a letter of challenge from the witch. She's just telling us to try and solve the code that points to the hidden gold. If we can. And if we can't, she'll keep collecting the interest as planned. I'll beat you to death. Bring it on. But Butler, look.
The
What?
table was covered with sweets. Oh, it's still you.
Oh. So even though those things were right out in the open, we assumed they were sweets too. I mean, come on, you see them a lot, right? You know, those boxes of chocolate shapes like gold ingots? But this is no box of candy. This is the real thing. This is a real gold bar. It's described with the crest of the one-winged eagle. I heard Mother talking about this earlier. This is the gold bar from Grandfather's Legend of the Gold. Gold ingots weighing a full 10 kilograms. A whole 3 of them were piled up in the very center of the table. It was where a cake would be placed if it was a birthday party. In other words, this was without a doubt the birthday cake at the party known as a family conference. If these are really full 9s quality ingots, it's worth about 60 million yen. Dumbass, that's too cheap. Our parents have been killed, and all you've got in this pile is just 60 million yen in gold. Don't take us for fools, damn it.
60 million yen would be almost $1 million Canadian, I think.
That's fucking retarded.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
So it has begun, Beatrice. It's not like anyone can solve this riddle anyway. You might as well just kill us all now. So Beatrice will definitely win. Quickly, open the door to the Golden Land and take me with you.
Why is Maria so weird?
Because I'm weird. That's why she's weird. My weirdness is just being portrayed through her. Goddamn, dude.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So now we've got the murders.
Yeah. So, I think it's fixed now. Maybe. Yeah, it's fixed now.
Yeah,
Okay.
6 of them. The parents, 3 groups of parents.
Well, all of the, what is it called? The pairs. The couples.
Mm-hmm. All the parents.
Okay. Welcome, Maria. Happy Halloween. Didn't I tell you stomachs are packed full of candy? Everyone has stomachs filled with sweet dreams.
Oh, can you see them now?
Yeah, I can see them now.
Oh,
Would there be anything filthy inside someone's stomach? Filthy? So I guess that's her taking it out. This is why we want to be as sweet and innocent as candy. This is why we want to be as sweet and innocent as candy. And so I give you the land of dreams. What do you mean this? Fucking weird, dude. But it's awesome.
It's weird. It's awesome.
It's weird, but it's awesome.
So you don't know... Well, they haven't even talked about the big mystery. The big mystery...
The gold. Yeah, they haven't talked about that.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. The big mystery of the murders and how they happened.
No, they haven't yet. So, alright.
Do you know what it is?
I mean...
They'll probably talk about it in this next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause,
yeah, they're going to mention it. Yeah, there was something strange about the murders that they haven't addressed yet.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I mean, if you were paying attention, then you know what it is. But...
Well, it's the thing about the candy being in the stomach and then being slid out, right?
What about the key?
Yeah, I noticed that too. So the only way that because like the key wasn't there, and the key was with Maria the entire time. So the only person who would be able to get into the door would be someone.
Yeah,
who would get
that's
into
what
a
I'm
locked
talking
room.
about. That's the thing that
Yeah,
they
so
haven't
it's
addressed.
Yeah, it's a locked room.
Yeah.
Unless, like, they just talk about windows and shit. I don't know. Secret passageways. Secret passageways. Hell yeah, dude. So, fuck, I don't know who it could be. I don't know. Are the kids exempt? Should the kids be exempt? I think that the kids should be exempt.
It's Beatrice.
Yeah. It's like her epitaph. But, like, just having it be the epitaph would be kind of retarded.
The epitaph is killing people.
Yeah, exactly. So...
But she's on the island. She's in the VIP room.
She is. And also, I don't know anyone else who would do that. But then again, you know, who's to say?
And Rosa, also, here's another weird thing. Rosa was in the chapel with Beatrice and the others, and she hasn't talked about that.
I guess she hasn't talked about it, no.
Yeah, and she so
maybe it was a
Rosa
thing
was
between
there,
Beatrice and her. Because, like, Beatrice, like, actually does exist. But, like... What the fuck? She can't be manipulated. It just seems so fucking weird that there would be, like, an actual mystery behind this right now. Because it seems like it really can be explained by, like, just random fucking epitaph.
You think it can't be explained without magic?
Bullshit. No, that's not right. It should be able to be explained without magic. I'm just don't know. I don't know, because we never actually seen her do any like really cool stuff with magic before. Like actual stuff that affects the main story. Like right there, except for her just like
She made candy appear.
yeah, she did a little magic trick, but that's not the same as killing 6 people and stuffing their bodies full of candy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is magic. Like it was.
Kyrie and Rudolph acknowledge the witch,
Yeah.
and they're smart.
Yeah, everyone acknowledged the witch, didn't they?
Yeah,
Rosa did
all
too?
the adults did, and Kyrie almost didn't. But
Yeah.
then she was like, "Yeah, I have to say you're real witch. Now don't kill me, but you kill me anyway."
Weird. I don't fucking know. I don't know why, but I suspect Genji.
Genji?
Yeah.
You think it's him?
I don't think it's him. This is just like a fucking instantaneous like finger point. That's what it is. No reasoning behind it at all. It couldn't be Ken. Okay, let's actually exclude some people. So it couldn't be Kenzo. It's not Jessica, George, Battler, or Maria because they were all sleeping.
They could have woke up and went back to sleep.
They could have woke up, but like I don't know, they're kids, dude.
Or they could have done it before they went to sleep, even.
They could have, but nah. Servants. Servants. I guess Shannon found it on her own, so like she's probably exempt. She had like a surprised face. Cannon is exempt because I feel like it. Goda is exempt. Kumasawa's fucking suspicious. But I don't think.
Yeah, she used a mackerel.
Yeah, yeah, but she's not very strong, so I think she's exempt. Genji, Nanjo, Beatrice, and Rosa are my main suspects.
Maybe they're all working together.
They could be. It's possible. And Kinzo no, because he hasn't left his room.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
let's end this. Go to the next one. See what Battler's reasoning is.
Yeah, let's see that.
And something also. Sorry, before that.
Yeah.
Beatrice in this, she was saying how she killed them with their faces, so you could see their faces, so you could tell it was still them. So this time, we know that Rudolph and Kyrie are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
you can't use that trick again for this episode.
Yep. I am well aware. Unless they had wax figures made of them. Ha! Got you beat.
Well, yeah, I guess they could have done that, but I think Battler was pretty close to them. Could probably tell that it wasn't.
No,
a
but he
wax
didn't feel
figure.
up inside their guts. Nope. Nope. I know.
Rudolph and Kyrie are super criminal masterminds.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see
See you.
everyone later.
See you boys later. Have fun.
On Friday. It's Monday. On Monday.
Yeah. That one.
Bye.
Boy.